Welcome student to my channel Educare Maths and Science. Today continuation the physics, the Newton's law of motion and actually the concept of the inertia. This is also the class 9 I.C.S.E. This is the basic idea of the in case of physics the mechanics. So actually you know the force. Okay. Now what is the new idea? This is the inertia. Inertia, that means if a certain thing is there, if you table is there, you just slightly push, it cannot move. The certain force is applied to overcome the things. That means that is a tendency. Each and every one has a tendency. Which one is a tendency? যে অবস্থায় আছে, which one is the condition? So it has a tendency to belongs this condition. That means which one is the rest condition? It has a tendency to belongs the rest. And which one is the motion? That is in the motion. So these are inherent property, the property of a matter within it. Okay. Now these are certain things I write down here for the better conception. So if a body at the rest, suppose a body is at the rest, it remains at rest unless a force is applied on it. It's a scale term. Why? This is a board is there. Suppose a board is there. This board is after 5 years, after 10 years, after 50 years is there. Because it's a property. If you not move it, if you not apply this here, so this is body is hanging here after 50 years also. Okay. And that's it. So many things. If a body is moving, so in the straight way, suppose a ball is just rolling this, his ball is moving. Okay? The time swings. The straight way. That is the motion. Okay? So these the actually the tendency, which one is the belongs this condition is just continue to motion or belongs to this. That means if a body is moving, it will continue to move with the same speed in the same direction unless a force. If you not apply a force within it, the body is moving and moving continuously. And unless means actually the force is acting is the fractional force and air resistance is applied on it. And all. That means if you just tell me, so sir, if you just rolling a ball, it's certain time is stop. Because one is the obstruction of the wall. Number one, the friction surface between the ball and the surface, float surface, the frictional force is there. Air resistance is there. If you just abolish all these things, free from, that is not an ideal condition. If the ideal condition is prepared, in case of the Boyle's law ideal gas, so this is not the ideal condition. But if you not remove 100% frictionless, if you not the air is not there, air is also each and everywhere there, so air resistance also there, friction is there, the obstruction is there. If you just remove all these things, if you just push one time a ball acquire velocity and continue to move, that is the very important thing. But it's the ideal condition. So ultimately think, what is the tendency of a body? What is the tendency of a substance? In case of the students, I just jokes here, the tendency তোমাদের একটা না পড়ার সবসময় না বোঝার একটা টেন্ডেন্সি, মানে আমি একটু কম পড়ে পড়লাম, একটু টেন্ডেন্সি ইচ অ্যান্ড এভরি টাইম ইজ টেন্ডেন্সি স্টুডেন্ট টু জাস্ট সি অ্যান ইউটিউব অ্যান্ড আদার থিংস ইজ আ টেন্ডেন্সি ফাঁকি দেয়া, স্টুডেন্ট রেখে তাদের ফাঁকি দেয়া, দ্যাট ইজ আ টেন্ডেন্সি। ইচ অ্যান্ড এভরি স্টুডেন্ট আই অলসো বিলংস টু দিস, আমরাও ফাঁকি দিয়েছি। সো ইজ আ টেন্ডেন্সি, আমাদের একটা টেন্ডেন্সি কি, উই জাস্ট স্ট্যান্ড অন দ্য টু লেগস, নট অন দ্য সিঙ্গল leg, we just stand. We may stand but not. So this is the tendency. In case of the chemistry, each and every atom is the 8 electron, the last orbit. That is a tendency for the balance. So in case of the object, in case of physics, each has a tendency of each and every object has a tendency to belong this the original state. That means সে যে অবস্থায় আছে, this clear to you, সে যে অবস্থায় আছে সে অবস্থায় থাকতে চায়। Which one? A body certain is originally the rest condition. So it has a tendency to rest. By hook and crook, they have to rest. You cannot move it. For that reason, you apply a force, but not a certain minimum force is required to move this. Not a certain, just to push korle chole gelo ta na. Certain iron ball, if you just push it, it's not move because iron ball is the inertia is greater, the mass is greater. But a certain plastic ball, if you just push it, you just move. That means the depend on the mass. That is interrelated between the inertia and mass. But the certain small ball and the iron ball both have the tendency to remains their condition. The rest condition or the motion. Certain যে কোনো একটা জিনিস মুভ করছে, has a tendency to move. তুমি তাকে অবস্ট্রাকশন করলে the brake apply, you just stop this. So okay, this is a very important conception, the inertia, and from there the Newton first law is coming. The force is developed. Which one you just overcome this inertia? That is actually the force. Is okay clear to you? What is the concept? I just discussed you the basic thing. These are all in the books, but the concept must be clear. The certain interest grow in the physics is a very conceptual thing in case of physics, and when you just solve the sum, solve the numerical in the physics, we just easily understand. So certain interest in grow, and you just easily solve the sum for that reason. Now, okay, so which one? The if a body is moving and continue to move the same speed unless a force, the frictional force or there, air resistance also, if you just move out it, ideal condition is that its body is move. Okay, but it's not possible always. Now the second thing, what is the definition of the inertia? A body, the virtue of tendency, there is a tendency, inherent property, tendency, each and every object to remain its state of rest. রেস্টে আছে, অলরেডি রেস্টে আছে, দিস আর অলরেডি ইন দ্য রেস্ট কন্ডিশনে থাকতে চায়, or in the if they the body is already in the motion, have the tendency to move, this is the more tendency, it's called the inertia. This property is actually called the inertia. An object wants to stay the way the already are present, তারা যে অবস্থায় আছে at present, so have the tendency by hook and crook, they cannot change its position. They cannot change its position. This is called the inertia. If you change its position, if you change its side, you apply a force. But the minimum force is required to overcome the inertia. Is okay to you? Clear? Now, inertia depends on mass of the body. If the mass is increased, if the mass, such as the ping pong ball, the very less mass, and the iron ball, the inertia of the ping pong ball is very low. And in case of the iron ball is very weighty. So for that reason, in the certain slight force is applied in case of the ping pong ball or a plastic ball, but it's not easy to move a iron ball. Iron ball is certain force, so force is greater because the inertia is greater. Why the inertia is greater? The mass is greater. What is the interrelated between them? First is the mass, then is the greater mass, greater inertia. Is what already write down here. Greater mass, greater inertia. If you just greater inertia, if you just move this, the greater application force is there. The higher force is applied. Now, one thing is very important. So, the inertia depends on the body. Greater mass, greater inertia. Is okay to you? Clear to you? Now, less mass, less inertia. Now, certain, this is the big square and this is a small square. Equal force is applied. Here is the force is applied F. Here is also the force is applied. But now you say, what is the speed is greater where? The inertia is greater. Here is the inertia less. So same force is applied. The basic concept is this. So speed is developed here. More speed developed because the inertia is less. That means the same thing. The small plastic ball and the iron ball. The same force is applied. Same force is applied. So it will be very easy to move the plastic ball rather than a iron ball because the inertia of the iron ball, the mass of the iron ball is greater. So it's not overcome this. So this is a tendency. You have the greater force is applied for move this ball. So this has the tendency, each and every body subject or object that has tendency to remains its own condition. সে তার নিজের জায়গাটা থাকতে চায়. It's a tendency. সে যেখানে আছে সেখানে থাকতে চায়. You cannot move. It's a big stone. You cannot move because he has the tendency. Because the tendency, the greater mass is there. So this is the inherent property. Is the by property, by virtue. That is the main concept. And for that reason, the force is developed. The idea of the force. You have to move it. Okay. Is clear? So big mass, inertia is greater. So if the same force is applied, m greater than m. So the speed, so this is the speed is v. The small v is greater than this. That means the small or inertia is small. Same force applied. So which body the speed is greater? In the small body, the inertia, whereas the inertia is less, the speed is developed greater than other this. Okay. Now, the two things are there. So many things in the each and everyone is each and surrounding things, but the in case of this each and every surrounding, the law, inertia of rest and inertia of motion, so many examples are there. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion. Suppose inertia of rest, two types. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion. One thing, inertia of rest, just I write down here one thing. When a train suddenly starts, suppose you just train is stopped, you just within the compartment, but suddenly a train is stopped. When a train is suddenly start moving forward, that means a train is suddenly just moving forward in this way. It just move. Train is moving in this way. Passenger standing within the compartment. This is a very important thing. Passenger standing within the compartment tends to fall backward. আমরা দেখবে একটু পেছন দিকে হেলে যাই, because this is the inertia of rest, the example of this. Within the compartment, if the man is standing, the train is rest condition, the man also rest condition. This is a very important thing. Suppose this is a compartment, man is standing here, is okay. The total, now the compartment, the starting is in this direction. So the first thing, the inertia of rest, because the train is rest condition, the compartment in the rest condition, the man is within the train. That means this man is the ultimate the rest condition. Now if the move forward, the compartment move forward, that means train start, move forward. Okay, now this is the touching, that means this floor is moving forward, and the lower part is standing. The lower part of the man is start move, but the upper part is not acquired this, so this is in the rest condition. দুটো একসাথে মুভ করছে না, because this is the lower part is the touch, so the lower part of the human beings is start to move because they touch the ground, but the upper part is not already, they are not already the moving, they are the rest condition due to the inertia. So balancing their body, they are just back down, this is backward. For that reason, the lower part is in the motion, but the upper part is the rest condition, because the already they are in the rest condition. সে কিন্তু থাকতে চাইছে, সে কিন্তু রেস্টে থাকতে চাইছে, but this the lower part is start to move because of touching the train, and the train is moving in this way. So for that reason, the balancing the body, say just backward. Okay, so each and everywhere, that is a thing. Very important thing, each and everywhere. So each and everywhere you see that inertia of rest, inertia of motion is okay. আমি আবার বলছি, okay, ট্রেনটা আছে, ট্রেনে within the train the man is standing, so both man and the compartment in the rest condition. When the train is starting towards this direction, that means the compartment, whole the compartment is moved, but the man is standing here, so touching the ground, touching the compartment, so this part is the moving condition, but of the upper part of the man is not ready to move, because they are in the rest condition, they have the tendency to rest. That is the inertia. For that, the balancing the body, they just backward, fall backward, for that reason. Okay, in case inertia motion, the example, inertia motion, suppose a cyclist riding along a straight level, paddling this, okay, but does not come to rest immediately when the paddling is stopped. আমি সাইকেল চালাচ্ছি, ওকে, সাইকেল চালাচ্ছি, হট করে প্যাডেলটা আমি স্টপ করে দিলাম. At the same time, immediately we cannot stop, because we are in the running condition, we are the moving condition. Certain time is there, because this is the inertia motion, because we are in the moving condition. If you just stop the battle, but it's immediately cannot stop, because we are all the cycle and we all the moving condition. So this is the example of the inertia motion. তুমি দেখবে পাখা ঘুরছে, the fan is moving, switch is, but at the time the switch is off, that means the current supply is off, but for that reason the plate is moving. তখনও কিন্তু থামেনি, সুইচটা বন্ধ করে দেওয়ার সাথে সাথে কিন্তু পাখা থেমে যায় না, পাখা প্লেট থেমে যায় না, বিকজ দ্য প্লেট, দেয়ার ইজ আ মুভিং কন্ডিশন, আস্তে আস্তে বন্ধ হয়, দে আর মুভিং কন্ডিশন, সো ইনার্সিয়া মোশন ইজ ওকে. দিস ইজ অ্যান এক্সাম্পল অফ দিস. সো মেনি এক্সাম্পলস আর দেয়ার. If you just ball is thrown vertically apart, move train, this is a very important thing. It's a very interesting. Suppose is very interesting. Suppose a compartment. and you sit here, and a ball is throwing upward. The moving, all are moving. The very interesting thing. Very interesting. The very interesting thing. A ball thrown vertically upward. A ball is thrown vertically. Within the compartment, the train is moving, we also moving, all are moving. A ball is just upward throwing. Now, after certain times, by a person moving in the train, come back to his hand. After certain time, come back to his hand. Why? That means the train, we and this ball all on the motion. All on the motion. Within the air also the motion. Within this. So, in the inertia of motion, due to the inertia of motion, at the moment when the ball was thrown, it was motion along in the person. It remains in the same state of motion. Very important thing. The ball and the train are the same state of motion because it's a moving. Within this, the same system. That means in a certain time it's move, certain times ball also move. So this is an example of the inertia of motion. But one question is there. This is a very important question. If this is, but when, what is the condition? If the man is standing here and ball is throwing upward, what is the condition? Train is moving or a vehicle is moving. These are not within the same system. The air is not same system. In that case, the ball is not coming to the hand. This is very important. Within the train, within the same system, we, the person and the ball and the air, all are the same system, all are the moving. But in case when we just floor away vehicles, moving vehicle, the vehicle is moving, the man is moving, but when the ball in your hand is moving, but when you just throw in it, the air, the open air, is not the container, same container. Is okay? At that time, the ball is not coming to your hand. This is the very important thing because the same system, same container, these are all system are moving. So this is the very important. So many things, each and everywhere in the surroundings, we just belongs that there is a rest of inertia of motion, inertia of rest. So many examples in your book also. Just 2 or 3 examples are just given. But what is the actual thing? What is the actual condition? For that is in case of this, in case when just is the opposite is this, in case suppose is moving bus or train, you just sit, suddenly break down. Okay, that means when the bus is moving, all the body parts up and lower, total is in the moving condition. But when the suddenly break is applied, the bus is stopped, the touch, the floor, the lower part of the body is suddenly stopped, but the upper part is now in the moving condition. So inertia of motion, due to this, they just forward, forward to balance the body. Okay, the lower part in the sudden break is applied, so lower part is stopped, the stress condition, but the upper part is now continue to move. That is the inertia of motion. So for the balance, if this is the fall backward, is the fall forward. For that is just opposite. Is okay. So this is the concept, the clear your concept. Now it is growing, gradually increase of the nature on second law, third law, and the unit of force and other things. The first one I try to understand and try to just easier way to understand the interest in the physics. What is physics? Not is a learning subject. If you just clear your concepts and the certain ideas grow, then the solving of maths in case of physics is very clear to you, very interesting to you. Okay, so that's for today. If you understand, please share and subscribe. Thank you, student. Thank you.